Hey everyone, I've been looking at how to explain or support with developing more of a holistic awareness for those who, are new to it or don't really know where to start, or, it makes sense, but what do you do exactly? What are the practical things you do? What are the steps to to start developing that holistic awareness to a point where it becomes natural and a way of life? Because for me, that's a little bit where I'm at. I still have to do an effort to to actually practice it, but a lot of the time it also comes quite naturally. So, as with all things that come more naturally, it's hard to really communicate it or transfer it because you're not consciously walking steps. So I had to, like, for a moment really slow down and look at, oh, how can I explain this? How can I break this down? How can I put it into a process or a format that is easy to understand? And at first I was like, okay, I can simply use the pillars of holistic wellness and use that as like a framework to build around. And then I was like, oh, I can make a picture, I can like draw something out, to make it visual. And then I was like, I can make like a nice poster or something, like a nice visual drawing, like, but properly done. And then I was like, I can make a chart. So I decided to make a chart because I got so excited about it. And so that's what I did. And it turns out it works really well because once I made it, I started using it for myself, and it's so helpful. So I'm going to show you the chart. Oh, I have to make myself really tiny to show this. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so this is the chart, the holistic wellness check-in chart. So what I did is I placed all of the pillars of holistic wellness as circles on the page, so they all kind of laid out in front of you. And one way of using the chart is to once in a while simply look at it and see which of these pillars stands out. Which of these, it's like as you move your eyes over them, you will feel like a buzz, like a buzz, buzz inside your body, inside your solar plexus, of like, there's something there, there's an issue, something is not right, something's not stable or at peace or clear there. And then you can zoom into that one and find out, okay, so I'm looking at, for instance, emotional. Okay, well, what's not clear here? And then you simply ask yourself, why is this not clear? What's the problem? What have I been experiencing? What have I been going through? And you can very concisely write down, like, okay, the problem is that I've been worrying a lot about specific people, and it's been taking up so much of my time and so much of my focus and so much of my energy. And so you write down there, worrying about person XYZ. And then you say, okay, so, all right, I've got that now identified as that is actually something that's bothering me, that can improve, that needs attention, that needs me to support myself. It's not going to just resolve itself on its own. I have to actually do something here. So then you ask yourself, what can I do? What would be a step towards resolving this? And then you can simply write down what comes up there. So that's the basic idea of the chart and how to approach it, because it has a overview of the different pillars, so it can prompt you in terms of different parts of who you are and different parts of your life. So you don't get stuck on looking at only one thing. And so this is a cool way to just open yourself up to considering more, to consider yourself and your life in a more holistic way, and to just become and allow that awareness to come through more of what is actually going on within me, what is going on in my life, as just that very first step where then later on you can start more looking at, well, how does this relate to that? How does that tie into this? But you know, that's not the first step. The first step is just becoming more aware, developing the awareness. Okay, so I'd like to go into this a bit more. And if you guys want this chart, I'm gonna put it on the under the Facebook group somewhere in the files or something. Like, I have to figure that out, how that works and how I can share it, so that you can, you know, either just print it every time you want to use it, or you can print it and laminate it and put it on your fridge, and then you can, you know, you can use it with how are these things called, these markers, like for whiteboard markers. If you have a thin one, you can use that to fill it out, and then you could wipe it out again and keep using it over and over, and you don't have to keep printing paper the whole time. So I mean, whichever way works best for you. Sorry, like, personally I prefer to have it on paper so I can actually write it out by hand every time. But some might find it handy to just have it on display, where you can even do the exercise without even needing to write it out, but just having a chart there helping to guide you towards the points that are requiring your attention. Alrighty, so I just really quickly want to go over the different pillars, and to just start by saying these are not, you know, exhaustive, meaning you could add more pillars here. You could specify it more, you could leave some out. This is the ones that are here, I find, are like the big ones, the big points within ourselves and our lives that tend to take up a lot of our attention, and that tend to play a very big role in who we are and our daily experience of ourselves. So that's why those are the ones here. But again, it's not like science. It is those things only, and these are the things you must look at. It's just a guide. If you want to, you can change this, you can rename it, make it suit and work for you. Okay, so the physical pillar is the physical body. How are you doing on a physical level? How do you feel? Physically speaking, you know, do you have any aches and pains coming up? Do you quickly run out of energy? Do you feel tired a lot? Do you have pain in joints and muscles? Is everything okay with your organs, with your digestion? Do you get headaches a lot? So here we're looking at the physical body and all of its systems, and is everything running smoothly? Is everything flowing nicely? And do you really feel good in your body? That's pretty straightforward. Physical. It's, you know, usually when we ask how are you doing, we look at, oh, I'm not feeling good, or I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad. It's, you know, we tend to talk about our bodies, like I'm healthy, or I'm sick, or I'm in pain, or I'm injured, you know. So that's like, all of that is under the physical. Okay, then mental. Here we're looking at everything to do with our mental capacities, our thoughts, everything that goes on in our minds in terms of what we look at, how we look at things, how we process information, the extent to which we're able to focus or not, our ability to access memory effectively. What else goes here? You know, the kind of thoughts that have been coming up, the nature of the thoughts, the intensity of the thoughts, all of those things can be points that go, hey, wait a minute, this is actually disturbing. This is, you know, this is not right. Or maybe this is something I should look into more. So all of that is under mental. Okay. Emotional, here we're looking at both emotions and feelings, so both positive and negative. Like, if you find that, you know, we always tend to focus more on the negative emotions, like fear and worry and stress and depression and sadness and, you know, all the negative stuff. You know, I don't have to explain it, you know what these things are. But there's also the positive things where it's like, at times, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, you can be like in this really positive, excited mood, but you don't even know why. It's like, it can also be unnerving, where you're just in this high and you can't even relate to it. You don't even know why it's there. Or if you feel like you get swept up into desires a lot. Desires is considered a positive feeling, but it's not necessarily going to lead you down a path you should be going down to, right? So you want to here pay attention to both the positive and the negative, because both can be disturbing, because in all of these pillars, that's what we're looking for. Like, where is there a disturbance? Where is there a misalignment? Where is there a something that is actually bothering you, that you're not okay with, that you're not clear on, that just needs you to look at it and needs you to open it up and needs you to give it attention and direction. All right, so that's the kind of points you want to be looking for. So when it comes to emotions, both negative and positive experiences can have that or create that point of disturbance, like, why is this here? Why am I feeling this way? Or why do I follow my desire so blindly? It can be a question that comes up. So to not dismiss or only focus on a negative, but to look at both those, positive and negative experiences. All right. And spiritual here, okay, spiritual, there's many words for it. Some people call it the soul, some people call it the beingness, some people call it the spirit. It's like the life force within you. You've got the physical as the body, the mental and the emotional is more the mind aspect, and the mental energies. I mean, the mental is more your structural thoughts and things. Emotional is more the energies. And then you've got spiritual, which is like the pure life force. That's real, essential, who you are. And that's the key point here, I would say, is that question of who am I? And what am I doing here? Who is this? Who am I? What am I? Where is my life going? Does it serve a purpose? Am I satisfied? Am I fulfilled? Am I fulfilling who I am? Do I know who I am? It's like that. Those really deep questions that frame and direct our whole lives. But it can also be in small moments where it's like, can be about things you would like to nurture. For instance, like this, maybe your whole life you've just been really wanting to learn about animals, for instance, but you never had pets as a child. But it's like this thing has always kind of been with you, like you actually really would enjoy learning more about animals or how to work with them. And so a point of spiritual wellness could be like allowing yourself to walk that path, allow yourself to find out, who am I? Who are you in relation to animals? Where is this coming from? And what more about yourself can you learn through walking such a path? So that would be like your spiritual, beingness, wellness. It's about the things you allow yourself to learn, expose yourself to, and the extent to which you determine who you are versus allowing other people, to determine who you are, or emotions, experiences, ideas, and beliefs to direct and determine what your actions are in life and what decisions you make. Spiritual, you can also see as the extent to which you feel part of a bigger whole, because like on a life force level, we're all connected. We're all part of life. We're all here. So, it can relate to your worldview, the extent to which you feel supported by life, or the extent to which you feel like you've been abandoned, or you're not part of anything, or you feel lost. Those kind of experiences, those more bigger questions of life, those go under spiritual. Okay, let's see. Financial, I'd say is pretty self-explanatory, but let's open it up a bit. Here you're looking at, it's not only about how much money you have or how much wealth you have acquired. It's more about your relationship to money, for instance, or, excuse me, the extent to which you're satisfied with the amount of money you have or don't have. It can be in relation to your job. It can be in relation to your studies. It can be in relation to whether you'd actually want to have your own business, but you're still working for someone else. So it's everything, yes, to do with money, but it's not about money. It's about who you are in relation to money. So again, these bottom circles are like secondary. These four at the top are your primary ones, because this is really about who you are. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your emotions and feelings, it's your beingness, it's your life force. The bottom ones are more like different parts of your life, which will include or have an effect on your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical wellness, right? But we're just highlighting them because they are the things or the aspects of our lives that tend to take up a lot of our attention and a lot of our focus, or that tend to have just a very big impact on us. All right, so yeah, that would be all under financial. Social, here you're looking at all relationships, so not just friends, but you're also looking at family, you're looking at mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, and yeah, if the social circle stands out, it might be because you had an argument with someone and you never, allowed yourself to look more at why did this fight even happen, or you didn't allow yourself to go to them and speak to them and say, hey, I'm not at peace with this, I'm not clear on this, can we resolve our issues, can we talk about this? It can also be to do with your partner. Social would also include your primary relationship if you're in a relationship, the extent to which you argue, or even the extent to which you connect with each other. Are you really walking together, or are you more each living your own separate lives and have fallen into a routine and a habit, but there's not really much of a real connection there anymore? Those are the types of points where, if that's present, then the social circle might be buzzing for you. All right, then sexual, also quite self-explanatory. Here it's also not about how much and how often and how good or how bad. It's more about who are you within it. Again, are you happy with your sexuality? Are you at peace with it? Do you have points where you'd like to explore certain things, but you've never given yourself permission to do it? Are you able to communicate about your sex life with your partner? Are you in tune with your own sexuality if you're not in a relationship, or even if you are in a relationship, or if you have a obsession towards it, if you have an addiction in relation to it, then that is also, then this sexual pillar might be buzzing for you if you've got that going on. Or if you suppress it, if you always, push it aside and act like it's not important, then this might also be buzzing for you. So that would be the sexual pillar. Environmental. Okay, that one might be an odd one because it seems like it's about everything that is not got anything to do with who you are, right? I mean, financial is your finances, social is, your relationships, sexual, you're part of it. But environmental is it's everything around you. But at the same time, we're also part of it. We're part of the environment. We're not separate from it, And so with environmental, you're wanting to ask yourself the questions like, what is my living environment? Am I happy with my living environment? Does it support me? Or every time that I come home, do I go into a sigh, into a low, into a ugh? Because either there's something about the space that is, not really aligned to who you are, not really supporting you, or it's always messy, or you haven't got a clear direction even for the different spaces in your house. Maybe, that you need to just put more effort into organizing your house and making places for this is for that and that place is for that. What else? It can be about where you live as well. You know, are you, say that you have to commute for 2 hours every day to go to work, then environmental might be buzzing for you because where you live and where you work is so far apart that it's a hassle every day to, you know, go to work, for instance. Environmental might also be if you work from home and you're not able to really focus enough, because you feel like your personal and your work life is just like blended into one and you don't have a clear focus throughout your day, then, you know, environmental might come up. So checking to see if there's anything else here I might have missed that I need to expand on. Let's say it's pretty much got it covered.